Hello and welcome to Positive Conversations with David and Donna. I'm Donna.
And I'm David.
And I'm 55. That's only important because my birthday was last week. It was last Thursday. And as long as I've been around teenagers, which, as I've said, is my 31st year as a high school teacher, people get all offended with each other when they hear somebody ask my age. But I've never minded telling people how old I am because it's how old I am. I just have never seen why that's such a big ordeal. But
people get so insecure about their age. Excuse me, sorry. And I agree. I don't get it. It's like, I get everything else to be insecure about. Where people are like, well, how much do you weigh? And stuff like that. Because that's
what
sort of like.
What size do you wear?
Okay, I know when I get embarrassed about things, it's because usually, it's because I could change them and I could be better but I'm not, like my weight or whatever. But when it comes to age, it's like, what are you supposed to do about that?
You could either age or you can die. Those are your two choices.
Yeah, you can.
You don't really have much other choice there. So I've never been concerned at all about telling people how old I actually am. So fun fact for anyone who cares, I like to tell my students I'm as old as the Super Bowl. So anybody who listens to this, if you ever want to know how old I am, they just did Super Bowl 54. So I was 54 when the Super Bowl aired, and then the next week I turned 55. So any time in the future, you hear us, hey, it's Super Bowl 78. You can say, hey, Donna's 78. So every student I've ever taught has heard this. I don't know how many of them have remembered. Do you remember me ever telling your class that?
Now that you mention it, yes.
Yeah, but it didn't stick in your head.
No.
I love it.
It did not. Sorry.
So, that's fine. So for the last, I don't even know how long, I would venture to say 10 years, if not more. 2 weeks before my birthday, I always post 2 weeks from today, and I usually put balloons. So inevitably, I'll have somebody in every class going, what's 2 weeks from today? And then the other kids will go, oh, don't you see the balloons? It's her birthday in 2 weeks, right? Yes, that's right. So I like to give my students fair warning. And that's what I tell them, and I don't say anything else.
What are you warning them about?
I'm just saying, maybe warning is not the word. I'm giving them plenty of time if they would like to know that and do something about it. Just
in case there's something they want to do that involves that, which I did not do.
You mean when you were my student?
Or right now.
Well, you did actually, so that's what we're going to talk about. So,
I'm talking about getting her a birthday gift.
So, what happened for this particular birthday is, as it was getting closer, 2 weeks ago, that's when the variety show was. So it was really hard for me to remember to say 2 weeks from now because it was right in the midst of us getting crazy with the variety show preparations. But I did remember to say it, and then my students took it upon themselves this year to make the countdown on the board. I normally just do 2 weeks from today, 1 week from today, and then boom, it's my birthday. But we did the whole countdown. And so this is my first year to teach on block schedule. And so it's the first year that I didn't see all of my students on my birthday. So interestingly enough, I only didn't see 2 of my classes because the class that, the day that it was my birthday is the day I teach 5. And so the other 2 that I teach didn't get to see me on my birthday. But some of them still dropped by and said happy birthday. And it was such a wonderful day in the hall because students would come running up to me and say, happy birthday! And going into the room, they were saying happy birthday. And I had music playing because I like to have a dance in, especially on the last day of the week. And for my theater classes, Thursday was the last time I saw them. So we were dancing to my favorite song, September. I don't have too many favorites, but if I have to pick one favorite song, I would pick that one just because of the way I've used it since I've become a theater teacher. Dancing to September and hugging and loving, and it was fun. So we in classes, one of my classes signed a card and gave it to me, and it was hilarious because the card had this big button that said it's my birthday, and when you open the card it says remove pin from front of card, wear pin to it's like the very simple instructions about what to do with this pin.
That's funny.
I laughed so hard. That was great. So I'm just talking. Jump in at any time. No, talking all about my birthday.
Yeah, so your birthday was great. No, please continue.
Well, actually, what David does.
I was there.
He was there. That's the thing. My husband and I usually go out to eat for my birthday, And the week before, my daughter had asked me, what are we doing? And I just made a little pouty face. And she's like, well, where do you want to go out to eat? I'm like, I don't know. I really hadn't thought that much about it. So I chose a restaurant in Denham Springs where I teach. And I said, let's just tell my students that I'm going there. And some people show up and we'll visit.
Yeah, I'll party.
So that's what happened. So I went to a restaurant the night of my party. Well, the night of my birthday to have my party. But I got to come back to that because I didn't finish my school day. So my fourth hour students, that's my Theater 2 class. These are the students that have been with me for a year before. For some of them, it's their third year with me. And they've been very excited about my birthday and announced very broadly when I walked in that there would be something for me very special. It just hadn't come in yet. So I'm not sure what to expect there, but something, the birthday excitement will continue for me as the week comes around next week. But sixth hour, I had several students give me gifts and people drew me pictures. I love peacocks. I'm sure I've made that clear somewhere on here, but several people either painted or created some kind of a picture with a peacock on it. I got some jewelry, some candy, some flowers, some cards, some notes. So I really did. I was very happy about my birthday. But what I enjoyed, I think, the most was just I got home from school. My husband got home from work. We immediately got in the vehicle and went back to Denham where I teach because I live in the neighboring town, Baton Rouge. And we got to the restaurant Walk-Ons. And it was just the two of us for a while. But we had in mind that about 15 people would come to the party. And so we told them we have about 15 coming. And they said, well, we have to wait till about half of your party's here before we seat you. And so Dean, we've talked about Dean and interviewed Dean on the podcast. He showed up first. And we sat and chatted for a while. And then my son Sam and his girlfriend showed up. And we just enjoyed. There was good music. We were like bench dancing, moving it all in the seats. It was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And then David and Casey showed up. So David came with another one of my students she is one of my students that I've taught for 3 years and is one of the only students I've taught for 5 classes because I taught her, 4 because I didn't teach her the first year. So I'm wrong. I've only taught her 2 years, but 4 classes. So you had 4 classes with me. Have we talked about this? Yes, you did. Speech. Because speech and then Theater 1 and then the second, their senior year you had Theater 2 and English.
I was only in theater for 1 year.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I was the first year, and I was a senior.
Okay. So was it only 3 classes I got you then?
3 classes. Theater, speech, and English.
Oh, I thought it was 3. I see. Yeah. So David's only 3. Jason. But
that's okay.
Jason's 4. Jason had 2 with me last year and 2 with me this year, like Casey. So they're I think the only 2 people I've ever taught for 4 classes since I've been at that school with only 3 years of students. Total digression. But anyway, Amelia, my daughter, got really close to a whole bunch of my theater students last year, and there's a whole group of them, including Dean and her boyfriend Jason, and they all are over at this house all the time. So that whole group showed up. And then some of my students that I teach this year showed up. So it was just a nice little combination for me. I get to go eat and get up and walk around and hug people and talk to people and go eat a bite and get up and walk around.
That's exciting.
Every time somebody walked in, I jumped up from the table and ran and hugged them. And
that's what I look forward to on my birthdays. Is just
the visit,
having an excuse,
right, to get together,
hang out, and a little bit more of the attention's on me this time. And maybe if I play D&D on my birthday, the DM's a little bit nicer to me than usual.
but aren't you usually the DM?
What?
I said, aren't you? Well, no.
It depends. I'm about half and half.
Yeah.
But on my birthday, I am not DMing. I am playing the game.
See.
Yeah.
I would think that I would feel about it the opposite way, that I would want to be the one in charge. And you just don't want to do all the work.
Well, it's all the work, but also, I like to play, I like being the one in charge and, making a story, just weave this story together for people, but when it's my birthday, I want to experience a story coming at my face that I'm interacting. I want to play the game.
Okay.
But it was a lot of fun going and hanging out. I was very flattered.
Aww.
You invited me
You're so sweet.
to come to dinner with you guys.
Invite my only business partner. Of course.
Yeah.
Duh.
And then I love sitting next to Dean.
Yeah, y'all haven't seen each other in a while.
Since the variety show. But then before the variety show, it had been a while.
Yeah.
Me and Dean always have a blast. We made a joke. I forgot to tell you this joke, and I don't think Jason will be. It's about Jason. We said, actually, Casey made the joke. Casey made it. Because we were looking at Jason, and he was kind of looking at the menu, really confused. And Casey said that Jason acts like he's been in prison for 20 years and just got out, and is adjusting. Like, he always looks like he hasn't been in society for a while, and he's always trying to figure things out.
I don't know if I would go there.
It was funny to me, okay? I thought it was funny.
I'm just saying.
Because he was just like...
So lost.
He always looks confused.
This is a menu? Wait,
yeah, that's yeah. It's like, he looks like he's always been adjusting.
That's funny. Well, I will have to say, Dean sat across from me at the table, and somebody brought me a present, I think, and he said, "Well, I didn't get you a present." I'm like, "Well, your present is my present," and I did mean that. I meant that. So I had the presents of quite a few people, and as we were finishing up eating, another one of my students texted me and said, "Are y'all still at walk-ons? Because we're coming." So 3 boys walked in. I didn't teach one of them, but the other 2 I have in my classes, and so they came in at the very end, and that was fun. I got a big hug from both of them, and when we left the restaurant, most of us went across the street to a Starbucks where another one of my students who wanted to come to my party was working, so we brought the party to him, so to speak.
Who was that?
Cameron. Cameron brought Nate, but then he had to leave and go to work.
Oh, okay, cool.
And it's a funny side story there that I don't think David knows. I stayed at Starbucks and had a drink, and we had a chai tea latte, what we've been getting lately. We enjoyed that. My husband and I both discovered that. But we didn't want to stay out too late, and it was my birthday, and it was Thursday, and so we needed to watch Picard, of course, which we'll go into more detail later on a different podcast.
On Creative Conversations.
Yes, that's where we talk about Star Trek a lot. But anyway, I left. And so then after about an hour, I got a text from a student from last year, and he's like, "Hey, I stumbled upon the theater reunion at Starbucks. Don't know why they're all here." And I went, "Oh man, I should have stayed longer." He said, "You were here," in all caps. I'm like, "They didn't tell you the reason they were at Starbucks was because it was my birthday?" And so he's like, "No." So he's a student that I'm close to, Gavin. Okay. I didn't invite like every former student I ever had. I just invited the group that Amelia's close to, and then a few people. Actually, I invited my whole 4th hour, but so many of my students work. It was just not like they couldn't come. But man, I could have had a much bigger group because that class is 28. So,
wow.
But to have 15 people sitting around a table,
yeah,
that was really nice.
Fun.
I enjoyed that.
I haven't mentioned to you what I'm going to do for my 21st birthday yet.
Well, you're only 19, so you got a little minute. But let's hear it.
The reason is not for alcohol. It's because it gives me a year to like get ready for it.
Okay.
I want to take a road trip, me and my pals, and we're going to go to Good Springs, Nevada.
Why?
Because it's the stupidest reason, and all my friends are like, "Why?" Because Good Springs is one of the main towns in a video game I like, and me and Andre both like.
Right.
That's it.
Well, and there could be any number of other stupider reasons.
Right, and we want to go there, and it's a super small town, but the video it's a town in Fallout New Vegas, which is my favorite game, and the town in New Vegas is based off of the town of the actual real life town. So I want to go there and be like, I'm here. And then turn around and go home. That's all.
Nevada's a long drive.
I know. I mean, like, okay, actually, it's really close to the Grand Canyon, and Vegas is nearby, and I don't want to go in Vegas, but my friends want to go in Vegas. Like,
Vegas is amazing.
We can go in Vegas, and I'm like, okay.
But there's a lot of performance there, if nothing else.
Right.
They really do have good shows there.
It's not me, but I'll probably like it. I mean, I like Bourbon Street. I'm sure I'll like it.
Well, I mean, you like performance as well. And I think a lot of stuff there is relatively cheap compared to other places because they expect you to gamble a lot. So you can get good meals, you can get good rooms for a decent amount of money.
Interesting.
So something to look at.
Yeah, so there's something, yeah. And so that's what I want to do. I want to take a road trip to Good Springs, Nevada. And my friends, I'm like, "You want to go?" And most of them are like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Because it's my birthday and I said so. Please." But it's actually kind of funny when I think about it. Like,
it's fun.
I just want to go and be like, "Well, this is cool." But I'm excited, looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about you looking forward to 21. Oh, I have something to say about my number. So after school, the day before my birthday, several students stayed after, and they were writing on the board, to celebrate my birthday. And they, for whatever their reason, decided to put my birth number in Roman numerals. And for 55, it's LV. And so when I was talking to my kids during my actual birthday, I turned around and went, "LV? it's my love birthday. So I never thought about
It is
that
your
before.
love birthday.
And as far as I know, I've never heard anybody else say that. Maybe they have, but certain birthdays like 21 obviously have quite a specific meaning as you move through them. But after a certain, you just turn the next age, And so 55, it's the one to look forward to.
That's
love
a nice one.
birthday.
It's like, it's like 55. That sounds so nice. Like, I'll do 55.
55.
Rolls off the tongue.
It does.
I've always joked that 19 is such a weird number. Like, why is 19 even a thing? Because, we should just skip from 18 to 20. Because, it's like, okay, 18, you're an adult. 20, you're in your 20s. 21, you can drink. And 19's like...
Just there.
I'm 19.
Yeah. Well, there's a whole song. Have you ever heard that song? No, 19.
I have not heard that song.
It's an unusual song. I'll have to introduce that to you after the podcast.
As you've done with many songs. Please.
Yes, I have.
Yes.
So let me just try to get back on track for Stay Positive. The reason we're talking about my birthday is because
that's right. This is a
I
podcast.
stay positive about my age. I think it's just because I'm positive about my life. And I did have a huge compliment this week. One of my students who's new to me this semester has come back to visit me often. And he walked in and said, "You're just always happy." And I'm like, well, that was certainly not always a thing. But I just try to live my life as you can't do things to be happy. You just are happy, and then things happen better in your life because you are happy. It's an inside job, as we've already said. So...
Yes, buy our t-shirts.
Yes, we do need to. Have you made a t-shirt, by the way?
I made a t-shirt that says, "Happiness is an inside job." Link is in the description.
Yeah, we should definitely get on that.
Yeah.
But, it's just such a interesting thing to think about, because a lot of people will just look at age as almost defeat. Like, well, I'm already 55 and I've never done this, or haven't accomplished that, or whatever. And so the whole focus is lack. And if I've learned anything over all that I've studied and listened to other people talk about, is to change your brain. Like, to just, instead of looking at what you don't have, look at what you do have. And I have another example of that too from one of my kids that showed up late at my birthday party. His name's Henry. And he got into a wreck. Well, not in a wreck. He ran over something on the interstate at the beginning of the school year, and it's taken him forever to get his car fixed back. There's a part on the bottom, the apron part, that had to be ordered and had to be painted the right color and whatever. And he showed up at my birthday party actually talking about how they had driven all the way to a different town, and they got there and it was painted the wrong color, and he was all upset and distraught about it. So in class the next day, he's like, "I have to go back today, and he's probably not going to have it ready. It's not going to be the right color." And I said, no. No. What do you want? And he said, "Well, I want it to be the right color, and I want it to be put on my car, and I'm going to be done with it." I'm like, well, then tell the universe that. Just say it. Say, my car is going to be fixed today. I'm going to get there. It's going to be painted the right color. The parts I need are going to be there. The guy's going to be able to install it with no problem. This is what you need to say. And he did say that. And we got the whole class to say it. So I came home that day, and maybe 2 hours after I got home, he sent a picture of his car. "It's on!" And he was so happy because his car was fixed. And I said, "Well, good vibes." And he's like, "Yeah, good vibes always." So it's just a matter of perspective. I mean, if you go into something expecting the worst, in general, the worst is going to happen, because you will see the worst, even if there is good. I mean, it's a switch. It's an actual, like, turning in your brain. And I do that so much now that I don't even have to think about it for myself. I'll just, another fun happy birthday story. Mm-hmm. I got in the car, it was actually the day after my birthday, because on Fridays one of our stations plays throwback songs to the 80s. And I love funky music. Oh, of course, that's why I love September. But Burn Rubber by the Gap Band was on. And can I tell you, I danced and smiled and just sang as loud as I could in my car. And I was just so happy to be happy. I mean, I'm just driving to school, and I was just so happy. And, you can see you do see what you want to see. And if you want to see negative, then you will. But, if you want your age to be a positive thing, and like, hey, I'm 55. Wow, look how I look. Look what I've accomplished. Look what is ahead of me. And you think about it that way, then there's no reason to worry about what age you are, and then think about, hey, when I get to be 60, I'm going to have this, that, and the other. And you send it, you set that goal. You like David and I talk all the time about our goals for our business, and we see it, we believe it, we say it like it is already there. And we've already surpassed so many of what, already things are just moving in the direction we want them to go.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It is super duper cool.
It is.
Super duper cool that we're doing all that stuff. What a birthday present. What a perfect, we just got our first significant job that we, they're screaming. It happens.
Ignore my daughter.
Yeah, sorry.
But our first job on Fiverr.
Yes,
writing.
and making, just before we started this podcast, the PayPal went through, and I was looking at it, and I was like, it's right there. It is not a significant amount of money.
No, but we got money.
Stretch,
we made money as a business.
Yeah, and it's not even that we, if we wouldn't have made this money right now, we're not going to starve to death. But it's just this actually worked. This is
working.
Doable. It is working. So what a great birthday gift that was.
Right, I agree with that.
To have that fall into our lap in the universe and that work out so well. You're right. You got to look for the. I know we're about to run over, and I'm sorry.
They're still screaming in the other room. I'm so sorry.
No,
Please ignore my daughter screaming.
Yes.
She's living her positive life.
I know we're gonna go over, and that you hate me, but I have a story to tell that didn't fit into the whole birthday thing. I'm sorry, but this is
we're going over on this one.
We're gonna go over on this one every episode. Like, we're gonna go over, and you're like, no, we're not. Give me this one. Give me this one. So I was getting. Maybe they might not even be able to hear the screaming, but
hold on, let me just.
Okay,
see if I can
it's no big deal.
Could we not? Seriously, could we not? We're recording. Can you please stop?
I think it's funny.
Okay, well, we might leave it. I don't know, but
you know what? Tell her to scream louder.
No, it's not. Okay, go ahead. Tell your story.
So I was getting gas a couple days ago, and I was getting gas at the Walmart gas station, just coincidentally. And as I was leaving, I was actually driving. I ended up, for whatever reason, the path I took to leave, I was driving next to the doors where you enter, like where customers are walking to the parking lot, and you have to yield and you wait for them and stuff like that. And there's a lady walking up, and she was holding a baby carrier, and out of the baby carrier, behind it, I see a trail of blankets that have been dropped by this baby carrier, just going and going and going. I see people are watching it happen and walking by, and no one's like, it's like, whatever. People who are not in their car right now, and I'm like, I gotta get those blankets, don't I? No, it's whatever. I gotta get the blankets. She's already inside, but so I drive and I go find a parking space and get out and jog over to the blankets. There are cars that are about to run it over, and like I pick up all this pile of blankets, and then I run into the Walmart. And I'm like looking around, like, okay, where are you at? Okay, over there. I see a lady like sort of walking away, holding like a baby. I'm like, are these yours? And it's just hilarious to me. And I gave them back, and she said,
well, how did she respond? I'm sure she
just said thank you.
Okay.
And I walked away, and then I was just like, it's just funny to me how a lot of people just like walked past it. And I started thinking to myself, and I'm like, why did I do that? Not like why'd you do that, but like, what about me made me do that when no one else did that? Why? I guess I'm just better than everybody, I guess. I'm kidding. Actually, what has made me do that is just the people that I've surrounded in my life and the messages I've tried to take in. I always say that I ask myself, what would Spider-Man do whenever something is happening in the world? So I want you all to ask yourself next time a situation presents itself, what would Spider-Man do?
Maybe that's our next t-shirt.
Oh, that's a great idea. Check out our TeePublic. I'll make that this week. Swear. That's it. That's my story. I did a positive thing, and you know what? And it has. I went to work that night and got some good tips. It's just positive things happen, and just I'm not saying to do nice things in order for good things to happen to you.
That is just how it works.
But it is just how it works, and you're right. You don't do things. You just be happy and do nice things. Just because it's the nice thing to do, and then you'll be fine, and not good things will happen.
All right. I agree. So we're not too far over days.
No, it's not that
all right.
bad.
That's fine.
Okay.
And I think that that's a sweet story to end our podcast on. So I guess I'll let you sign us off now.
Happy birthday, Donna.
Well, thank you. I enjoyed it, and thank you for being part of it.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. Do check out our other podcasts, like this video and subscribe, and see all of our other positive conversations. We have a new one for you every single week and a new creative conversation every single week. Also, don't forget to check out all the links that we have in the description below. This has been David.
And Donna.
Stay positive.